Hello and welcome to Lautering Limited. I am Tap here for Tap Cast, and today we will be doing the Arena Cube Seal. This is literally going to launch in about 14 seconds. We will jump right in and see what we get. So this is an interesting thing that Wizards has put on Arena. It has not been done anything like this before on Arena, so it is live right now. Just got to reload it to hopefully have that work, and we will enter in. So the list is live. You click this link here, you can go and see all the cards, things like that. But we are going to launch into this right now and get building. So let's see what we open. This is going to be exciting. This is literally the first chance we can do it. All right, cool. Already see one happy card. I got three blue rares, so that might be pretty easy to see what we're going to be playing. All right, let's see what we got as far as what's going on here. Oh, that's right. It is a sealed, or it's a cube, so the packs are going to be beefy and stuff. So, all right, so let's a little bit of change of pace. So let's see. It might actually matter what our lands are. So let's look at lands first. Kind of thought. I didn't really think about that. Oh, come on. Not in the that I opened, you silly biscuit. All right, so those should not. All right, so here are our lands as far as what we pulled in our packs. So we have 3 Boros duels. We have a single Rakdos, a single Dimir, and a single Azorius. We have Arch of Araska and a Lotus Field as our top dogs, and then we have a Barrenmoor for the black cycling land. So that's not a bad set of lands. Let's look at. I guess let's look at our rares. So, I mean, Boros in the sense of we have a couple, I mean, Hanged Executioners, nice removal. Unbreakable Formation, probably not what we want to do. Harmonious Archon can be okay, but not looking like the best sort of thing we can do. Blue, we have, okay, I mean, we do have Curious Best to See Guy, which is a pretty good card. It can win games. Otherwise, we're not like super hugely strong. I mean, Thassa's Oracle is not really the great necessarily just as a one-of and that sort of thing. So that's not really like awesome. Looking through black. Mastermind's Acquisition could be a sort of neat little thing if we have some major fixing or something like that. But we looked at our lands. That's not really the case, except for Lotus Field maybe. Otherwise, it's just a tutor for something that isn't like all that great. Otherwise, our black, I mean, with Massacre Girl, Rankle, those are both pretty good. Euphemia can be good if we build around it. Taste of Death, that can be somewhat okay. Moving on to red, we have pretty, well, not a bad. I mean, we have Goblin Trashmaster with War Boss is pretty good. Followed up with a Hellkite and a Sarkhan. That's actually not a bad set of red cards. Direfleet Daredevil is sort of a sideboard sort of card. I think these are actually best of one, so this probably wouldn't make a main deck. That's actually a pretty good card. At least it's something that you can get some value out of. Moving on to green, we have the sorcery instant spider creator thingy, Thorn Mammoth, which could be pretty good. And that's it for green. So green doesn't look all that playable. Moving on to our multicolor, colorless sorts of things, we have Time Wipe. Can be okay sometimes. Why I feel like we just really didn't open a lot of green or white, so those are probably not going to happen. Nothing like splashing for. So Time Wipe is our multicolor there. We also have Ashiok, Nightmare Muse, which is pretty good. Atris is also pretty good. Outlaw's Merriment is funny. Ionize, Stormfist Crusader, Scourge Diva, lands, Rise the Redeemed, which Arch Veraska, and we saw these, and then we have Mox Amber, which maybe we would play if we feel like we have enough. Probably not going to want to play it. And then Traxos, Scourge of Crew, Crucible of Worlds. All right, so just looking at these, it looks like we're probably, I mean, we kind of want to play some red cards. What other, let's just bounce back and forth. I'd love to play Ashiok. Ashiok seems good. So we could either go sort of Dimir. If we go red, I don't know if black or blue is our better set. I mean, we have a couple Rakdos cards that can help. A little bit of card draw, which is kind of nice. If we go the blue-red, we have Ionize, which isn't all that exciting. We could, if we are playing we could throw in Temple of Deceit and maybe a couple swamps to try to splash Ashiok. It's probably worth it. Or even a Lotus Field. Seems like we probably want to put that in our deck as well. So that's pretty nice. I mean, that could splash a couple different cards because of the way it works. It's any colors. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with a base red. I mean, Dragon Outcast is just Dragon Master Outcast. Just it's very powerful, but at the same time it has a lot of downside. But let's see what this would look like. That can win games out of nowhere as well. What's the other side of this? Target creature, planeswalker. So it's just a straight up removal spell for a pretty good cost. Excuse me. Outside of like Kiora Best to See God, our blue is not super hyper strong. Maybe black is a little bit better way to go. I guess maybe before we do this, let's look at our uncommons and commons if there are any that are standout worthy. So if we are thinking Ephemia, we'll want to play some enchantments. Okay, so we have a nice removal spell in black. Let's see what our other... So we have a little bit of control in blue. White's looking mediocre. Red, we have a couple pieces of... Well, one piece of removal. Two, if we call that something that we want to do. Furious Rise is good if we can get big things out. And then, I mean, we could do something like that if we wanted to. Burning Tree Emissary as well. It doesn't really do all that much for us. So, yeah. So this looks like it's, you know, it's not like the best stuff. The best of the best. But green looks like it has a little bit of ramp with Grow from the Ashes. Green Seeker sort of ramp. Nessian Wanderer is sort of a kind of a ramp thing. Colossal Majesty for card draw. Prey Upon for some removal. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more removal from our black and red. We don't have any white removal. A little bit of Permission in blue. Psychic Corrosion is just... I really hate mill. So I think we are going to go ahead and go Rakdos. So let's just go ahead and filter into our full-on Rakdos colors and see what we want to do. Our major players, let's just throw them in now before we go any farther. Maybe we'll play a Gary. We're not really sure yet. Probably want to play a Masker Girl. That's sort of like a safety valve if our opponent goes out of craziness. This is Embodiment of Agonies can be very good. It also can be very crummy. But what does this do? Exile it, and then get it back if Brain Maggot leaves. Okay, so that could be good. It could be good for Ephemia as well if we feel like that. Or yeah, Ephemia. Yeah, Ephemia. Nothing wrong with a little bit of Death Touch. Taskmaster for a little bit of recursion, maybe. We can think about splashing Ashiok if we feel like we want to, and I think we might want to. It's a pretty powerful card. It's maybe worth it. Furious Rise, do we have enough big things? Maybe we don't have enough big things to really get that activated, so we're not going to jump right into it. I just want to put that in. I think we'll be happy to play this. I mean, the fact that it's non-token is a little bit upsetting because we're going to be making tokens, or we hope to be making tokens with Sarkhan and the Trash Master. Really would have loved to have seen like a Legion, not a Legion War Boss. Oh my goodness. Siege Gang Commander, that would have been pretty cool with the Trash Master. Possibly. All right, so that looks like... the curve's not too bad. It's a little bit top heavy. I think we need a little bit 2, 3, 4 CMC things. We don't have a huge amount of instants, but we have a couple, so maybe that wouldn't be a terrible thing. It's also just a 4/2 for 2. Underworld Ragehound gets, powered out a little quicker than we probably would have liked to, or liked to have it done. Rimrock Knight's not bad for sort of like a pseudo combat trick. Goblin Mentor is a goblin, as is Weaselback Red Cap. So maybe those are worth playing purely because they are goblins. So we're sort of not really wanting to draw those that early, though. So maybe Flame Sweep is not really what we want to play. If we play Rimrock Knight, I don't know if it's going to be worth playing Gray Merchant. Gary doesn't seem to be all that great. This is probably not a bad thing to have. Yeah, there's some targeted removal, but we can always sort of like throw a wrench in someone's plans to try to get that early. Let's just pretend we're going to splash Ashiok. Let's throw that in there, and then we'll see what else we feel like we want to play here. Outlaw's Merriment. I'd love to play that, but the double white is just, I'm not that greedy. If we throw that and that in there, maybe depending upon what people see here. So this is any turn, right? You may cast this card. It has to be this turn. So that would be fine for a late game sort of thing. Otherwise, a 2/1 first striker for 2 isn't terrible. But we also have a lot of 2-drops already. So it doesn't look like I really want to do that. If we have any more enchantments, I'd like to have those in our deck. I don't see any other enchantments that we'll be playing. Not Outlaw's Merriment, doesn't count. Taskmaster is another 2-drop we don't really need yet. This could also be a safety valve. We don't have enough token production for that to really be okay. So we're currently at 41 cards. Let's put that in. We don't have any, like, fixing as far as like colorless, like Traveler's Amulet, anything like that. No, Mox Amber doesn't do it. Lotus Field, we might want to play Lotus Field. We fart. I hate that card, but I love that card. I don't know if I want to play Arch for Razka because we are splashing. It seems like it takes up a valuable spot. I don't want to splash an Atrata. It's a little bit too greedy to have 2 cards to splash. So if we were to drop 1 card, we might want to drop a 2-drop, something like that. We don't have a lot to do with our graveyard, so Underworld Ragehound seems like a pretty good card to keep in there. Brain Maggot can sort of temporarily steal something good from our opponents. So I think let's try to run it like that, and we'll see what because this has never been played before. I have no idea what the meta is going to be. There's so many cards. No archetypes are fully fleshed out at this point. I just don't think... I think the card list became available less than 12 hours ago, so it's hard to like know what you're really going to get. Or maybe it was 24 hours from now. I'm not really sure. So I think this looks like a pretty okay sort of thing. We could put in Mastermind's Acquisition if we feel like... Because like we could literally go get an island if we had the Ashiok or something like that. We could also use it to grab something out of our sideboard that might be... more possible, like say, oh, hey, we have a Lotus Field, and like, oh, we're getting our butt beat down. Maybe we need an Outlaw's Merriment. Not like that would help at all, but, or we can go get a Flame Sweep, or the Taste of Death, or something like that. So that's sort of a toolbox sort of thing that I don't really know if we want to do. So if we were to cut 1 card, does Massacre Girl is sort of like a rat that we can sometimes enjoy the fruits of, so... We're not necessarily aggro. I mean, the Dragon Master Outcast is not an aggro card, but we do have a couple young little gobos, but that's because we want to have Trash Master in there. I mean, Dreamstalker Manticore doesn't seem all that great, but I don't want to drop a 3-drop when we already have not so many, because we're a little bit really, well, we're kind of very imbalanced, but I think we're going to keep it like this. We have to drop 1 card. I kind of want to drop the Crusader. The mana looks a little bit okay. We do have a lot of double black for only having 5, 6, 7. I guess that's not too bad. Maybe the Baron Moore is a little bit risky. But our double blacks are actually pretty hot. Let's go ahead and... I like the card draw, though. Maybe Rimrock Knight isn't really what we want to do. I feel like it should be a 1/1 or a 1 mana thing. Those are only good for our... Oof. Okay. Well, how many lands do we actually have? Instead of mathing, I'm just going to say we're at 17 lands. Maybe that's a little bit low for 4 or 5 drops, but I think we're going to play it like that. All right, so we're going to take out... See, the Brain Maggot... Man, this is... It's really hard to know what we're going to be up against. Maybe Euphemia is just not really what we want to do. I mean, how many enchantments do we actually have? We only have 3, including her. Oh, these are... No, those are not enchantments. Yeah, so I don't know if Coffiny Girl is really where we want to be. At the same time, I feel like our top end's a little bit heavy as well. Let's take out one of these guys. So let's take out the weasel cap, and then let's try it like that. All right, so that is the build. We're gonna run it like this, and then we'll see how the games go. Yeah, and here we go. We have no idea how this will go, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not too long of a wait. We may just speed this part of the video up. Never mind. We don't even need to. All right. We are fighting against our opponent, whose name is to be determined. Griffon. All righty. Let's see what we get. All right. Lotus Field in the opening hand kind of stinks. We're on the draw. We at least can cast something. So the Lotus Field, I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. It's a little bit risky, but the fact that we can start doing some things a little early, that's not great to see for our 3-1. But we're going to keep it. We'll probably want to lead with Swamp here in case we have to sack. Oh, actually, we have double black and double red, so I'm not really sure what we want. So we want to see a land in the next couple draws. All right, opponent is playing blue-white, passing the turn. Here's a Swamp. Let's go ahead and Rage Hound. They're going to gain some life. They might just continue to attack because they do gain life every time a creature ETBs. That's good for them. So this ETB's tapped, right? Yeah. So that can't attack or block. Is that correct? And they can't activate abilities. All right, so we do have our blue mana, which we don't really want to sack to Lotus Field. So I think that we may have to play out the island to get Rankle down. If we can swing in and hit and connect with Rankle. Oh my goodness. All this removal. All right, so that's not great. But it looks like they don't have a way to get around this play that we're going to have now. So we'll drop an island, Rankle, make them sack the Warden. We'll sack the Rage Hound. We don't lose out too badly. So what do we want to do? We want to sack a creature. And I think let's just go like that. We don't want to give them any more fuel. Maybe that wasn't correct, but the blue-white control decks, generally we don't like to have... Oh, yikes. Don't like to have it. This is different CMCs, right? So right now that's just one, because we have nothing in the gray... Or we have the Rage Hound, which is a little bit stinky. All right, so we can't cast anything else as far as what's left in our hand other than the Agony. So let's go ahead and draw a card. Why would you tap that way? Please tell me why you would tap that way, you silly little card. You almost made my face red. All right, so hopefully we draw a land. We didn't draw a land. So we're going to go ahead and drop our creature and pass. So if we drop the Lotus Field, we sack 2 swamps. Or do we sack a mountain and a swamp? I feel like we want to sack 2 swamps right now. So let's go ahead and sack 2 swamps. All right, so we got our Lotus Field online. We can get a Hellkite in play. It doesn't beat out the fairy formation. Okay, so Tomac doesn't seem to bother us all that much. They're not going to attack, which is fine. Sarkin the Masterless. I think we want to put out after we have... Well, we could Sarkin and then make a Dargon, and then we can play the other Dargon. Or we can War Boss, and that would just be it. Just be the War Boss. Well, let's attack for 1 on the ground. Oh, nice. I didn't see that. I totally forgot about that. Man, that draws him a card too, huh? All right, so we have another one in there for the Embodiment of Agonies. Oopsies. So Trash Master wouldn't leave us. We want to try to use all of our mana. So let's go ahead and Skargan Hellkite with a +1/+1 counter. And then maybe next turn we will Sarkin. If they have a lot more removal, we're just kind of toasted. Looks like they're looking at our Hellkite here. I thought this was over. I really thought we were over this silliness. But we're apparently not over this silliness. And then we have Corset Hero of Dominaria coming out. All right, so... This probably makes the most sense, I think, here. Get a Dargon, and then they probably just end up somehow killing. I guess the fairy, they can't give it... It won't have haste. So, as of right now, unless they can eliminate a creature, which I guess isn't too bad. I mean, getting rid of Rankle isn't terrible. Man, that's a fairy. That's a pretty good set of cards they got. Fairy Formation into Fairy is just, like, pretty bananas. It is bananas, one might say. All right, so they're drawing a card. They're looking at Sarkin. I'll be totally worried if they attack in with both at Sarkin, but we'll probably block just because we want to make sure he doesn't die. Although at the same time, if we just don't block, unless they can untap, which is very possible. I mean, Flurry of Wings, whatever that 2 mana, the 1 white 1. Okay, so it looks like Sarkin will die if they go in for the attacks. They are not. Okay, so they're going to draw a card, untap some lands. Or no, sorry, they're just going to untap lands. All right, so we get another land. We could theoretically... They may have like a creature destroying thing, which makes me a little bit worried. We could also Rage Hound. Rage Hound will come back as a 4/2, which is just probably going to get chumped a bunch by fairies. But let's go ahead and plus that up. So we could do this guy, and then the Underworld Rage Hound, and then next turn Trash Master. So let's go ahead and War Boss. Because he doesn't matter, he's just a 3/3. It's War Boss. Go to Teferi. Yep, alright, cool. So they're going to draw all the cards. And still block with Tomek. That's funny. Alright, we have no effects there. So I think we bring back... well, actually, the fact that they didn't block with a fairy makes me a little bit more worried. So let's go ahead and drop this. They don't have any artifacts. So I don't feel like we misplayed there when we did that. So they're going to probably draw another card, make another fairy. So now they can actually kill Sarkin? They'd have to all-out attack, which means they might lose their fairy formation. I don't know if they're willing to do that. Hopefully we can lose something to make Embodiment of Insights a little bit better. We shouldn't Rage Hound until we can get Embodiment down. Or they just killed Sarkin now. I hope they attack with the fairies. They're not attacking with the fairies. They've been to this rodeo before. Alright, so Sarkin in there. Now we have a 3/3 for the Embodiment of Agonies. They see the Hellkite. I see the Hellkite now. I had not seen it before. So they'll probably throw out their flyer buddy. Because if that comes in as a 4/4, that would be damaging for them. It does get a flyer back on board, as does the Agony. So that's 5, so that's 3. So if we went that, if we drew a land... Well, not. We know what we're going to draw. We're going to draw the Skargan Hellkite. I hate playing against control. We're not even, like, that aggro. We're just not anything else. So we basically have to get the counter on here so that we can start shooting stuff. I think that's kind of where we are right now. All right, so it's going to be a little while before they can ultimate to fairy. So let's get our other flyer out before they start smashing in with everything. Let's get our counter. Let's attack to fairy with it. I guess it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to throw the other Dargon in there too, but as of right now, I guess they may just put the Skargan Hellkite back on our top in our library, which is a little bit annoying. It keeps them off the ultimate, but with them getting this flying force, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they have a lot of damage in the air.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
So 3, so 6, 7. If we draw a land, we can double activate the Hellkite. We could kill the fairy formation, or we could... Oh, well, they're going to probably destroy the Hellkite now. The Golem doesn't really help us at all. We have no recursion, and that's already another 5-drop, so that doesn't help us with the Embodiment of Agonies either, which is very annoying. They're looking at Scourge Deer. Are they going to bounce Banishing Light to try to get rid of something else? Or they're thinking about playing an artifact, and they don't want us to have the Trash Master do things. Yeah, it seems pretty good. So are we just going to die here? 4, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think we're just dead here. Oh, it's got Summoning Sickness, so we can't do that. Well, can't do anything about that, so I think we're pressed into the Embodiment of Agonies next turn, depending upon what we draw. I don't think it's going to matter. When we go to our turn, we're going to draw a Mountain. That doesn't do anything for us. I think we're just kind of boned here. It's not even an artifact. Ugh. All right, yeah, I think this is game over. We have one flying blocker. Yeah, we're not gonna. We've got nothing. we've got absolutely nothing. All right, that was a crummy match, but that was a crummy match. All right, we are back, and we are against Dillweed. Dillweed is our opponent. Dillweed. All right, so our opponent goes first. This is a little bit of a crummy hand to start off with, the fact that we flame sweep. But again, we can try to draw them into playing out stuff. I mean, if they just dump their whole hand, depends on what they do here. If they have a follow-up creature, which they do, so we're not going to play anything right now. We're going to take our early beats, and then next turn we'll hopefully flame sweep. No creature there. All right, so we could flame sweep here. We could also just wait one more turn. Although, what kind of thing is going to have 2 toughness? This is an instant. We can just wait. We'll take our damage. See what they have to play. Nothing, so we'll flame sweep here. Took an extra 2, but probably was worth it. So we can't dump everything here just because we don't have double black, but we can Dreamstalker, Manticore. I think we want to get something down as black mana, though. Let's go with Dreamstalker. We have Perforoses. That's not an instant, so we can't even do that. So that's just a big beater. So hopefully I don't have too much to drop. That's going to be... Jeez Louise. All right, well, that doesn't help there. I guess this will just take care of that, though. All right, well, let's drop it so we can do 6 damage to it, twice X, right? Perforce deals is twice X damage. Yeah, so let's just do that. And then X is going to be... Or do we just take... So if we don't kill that, they're going to... Let's say they attack, and we do create X1 elementals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's just 1. So yeah, no, let's just kill it. So that's going to be... We'll just overkill. We don't want to let that get out of hand. We want to make them pay life right now if they're going to do anything. I don't think I have a way to get out of it right now. But that spot removal is pretty key right now. The fact they cannot protect it. So they left them. Did they leave them both on top? Yikes. That's not very nice. All right, so let's see what happens here. So they kept things on top, right? Because they didn't surveil anything away. So there's 2 things on top. That's upsetting that they have both of them. Oh, my goodness. All the big things here. Oh, wow. Okay, lands for days. All right, still can't cast more than 1 creature this turn because of the lack of black mana. So let's go ahead and... We're not really racing them, but we at least can get damage in right now. We'll get our blue land down here. So we'll take some damage here. Unless they have some sort of first strike trick. I don't know if that's the best sort of stuff to put in cube, or if they have some sort of recursion. It's interesting they didn't pull it out of combat, because the trample would have actually still gone through. So that's a little bit surprising. Unless they have like a flame sweep and they want to clear our board. They just wanted to get in the damage. So they'll probably take the Stormfist, although the Stormfist is a little bit dangerous, so I kind of hope they take that. Because I don't actually want to lose the life right now. We don't have any enchantments in the graveyard, so Cacophony. So that could have gone worse for us, I feel. That doesn't matter. This is an instant? No, it's a sorcery. Dookie. So this is 5. We can't cast Ephemia if we do that. If we just kill that, we're in for 5. That's a 2-turn clock, so I think we just go for it. I actually can't pay the mana. That's annoying, because I only have a single black. Well, we're going to do it anyway. Sack a creature, target a creature, sack a creature. They can't pay for the removal from combat with Scophos, so we'll slam in. So now we have, hopefully, a race to the finish. Hopefully they're just top decking lands like we are. Doesn't look like they are. If they have Purphoros' Intervention, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not dead. Oh, that's a pretty good one. I got 1 card in hand. Okay. Let's see what it is. Oh, I will happily take that from him. Yeah, it's a measly little 1/1, but... Ah, no! That's so funny. And we're getting all the lands. All right. So let's get in for 1. Let's go ahead and drop this and pass the turn. We have an enchantment. Look at that. Look at that. We actually have lethal next turn. Although they can bounce something out of combat. What you got for us? Can they equip? No, they can't. So, okay. All right. Well, we're going to swing in. They're going to pull out something. Ephemia or the zombie. Yep, that's fine. I think this is probably going to prompt a succession. I mean, they could win if they had something big enough that cost 4 mana that they could attach and give haste, but they don't. So I think that's just going to be game. All right. Well, that was a little bit better. I think we navigated that well enough. I feel like they should not have blocked with that Nightmare Shepherd. I think I wouldn't have done that. But then again, you might not draw anything that would matter, and I can't block it. Whatever. Okay. See how this one goes. Alrighty, right into the game. Vivars is our opponent. Don't hate the hand. It's pretty aggressive. The Embodiment of Agony isn't great. Would bottom that if that was our only thing. So they probably do we want to just get our 1/1 out? It is a knight. This has something to do with knights, doesn't it? No, it just is a knight. Just goes in the knight's deck. So they may have an opt or something like that. Spectral Sailor, A. Glacial Fortress. So already upset with our opponent's color base. Do not like these colors. All right, so this isn't a terrible start. Do they want to spend the 4 life here? Let's see if they want to spend the 4 life here. They do want to spend the 4 life here. It's fine with me. Yep. Drop our Gentleman the Storm Crusader. Which at this point, I'm actually happy trading that off if they want to spend the 4 life. It pumps up our Embodiment of Agonies. I won't do it this turn, because I'd like to get the ping off with Judith. Saheeli, okay. I'm going to draw some extra cards, get a War Boss, that's pretty nice, and a Sarkin. So we are going to want that 3rd mana right now. So a couple things we could do here. I feel like we want a Scourge Diva. Although, actually, the War Boss right now will give us damage, because it will survive this turn. I don't want to get overwhelmed, so we will go ahead and slam in. So this way, now that next turn we're going to untap. Maybe we'll go down to 10 here. We'll take 4, something like that. But we have the ability to then use a Goblin to block the Adanto Vanguard. Which then maybe later we do that. So they're going to just keep slamming. No blocks. Want the War Boss to stick around right now. Shatter the Sky. Embodiment of Agonies, I guess, maybe here. Is it going to get much better than not? Is this just cycling for black? So that probably would have been better if we put that down earlier, but we didn't, so we didn't, and that's it. So we got a 3/3 Death Touch in the air. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a problem. Hopefully they don't have anything beefy like a Teferi. All right, well that's unfortunate that they have that situation going on. So we definitely have to kill Saheeli. They probably have other token production, but we don't know. So if they do, let's get ourselves a Dargon. Next turn we'll... That's fine. Okay, so bake into a pie. Do we want to kill Thalia? Not yet. We'd probably rather spend it on something else, so... I think we dropped the Scourge Diva. Is this just almost lethal? $11? It's pretty lethal. I mean, they could have some... Do they have Settle the Wreckage? Is Settle the Wreckage in here? Hold on, hold on. We are going to pause. Is Settle the Wreckage in the cube? It is in the cube. Gentlemen, ladies. We will not be settled. Oh, they didn't have it. Do they have it? If they had it, they didn't use it. Doesn't change the clock at all. So let's go ahead and cycle this guy. Something we can't cast. It's fine. It was a land. That's what we were going for. All right, so we don't have lethal with a single attacker, but we're going to keep Sarkin around, most likely. Unless they have some sort of destruction. Okay, they just... Woo! I thought they had Settle. I really did. Did they even have a hand? They had one card in hand, so it could have been a Settle the Wreckage. God, I always forget to play around them. Glad I thought about that. All right, that was a little bit scary. Kelko. 48 is our opponent in this match. Our opponent is on the play. We are on a mulligan. And a better hand to keep. I think we're going to drop Massacre Girl here to the bottom. And hope we don't get aggroed out by Kelko. Green for our opponent. I don't think this is really... Let's see what their hand is. So let's pass. We'll Brain Maggot. Maybe that'll take some of their removal out. That's a nice. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. What were we talking about being out aggroed? All right, cool. So maybe we'll see what their hand is with the Brain Maggot. Let's take that one. We don't really want them to have any reachy business here. We have a little bit of flying, and we don't really want that to go south. We probably will play that soon, but we're not going to block. Let's hope that we can get some form of goodness out before we get too crumpled into existence. So let's go ahead and Judith. So now what we can do is if they choose to attack, we can block Galia and kill the Paradise Druid, and then that's nice for us. And I think that's a pretty good trade here as well. There's our blue mana. So, I don't know if there's really a reason not to put out the Dragon Master. So we'll just pass it along like that. We don't have any enchantments, so that's going to go. So it's sort of like it's not doing all that much. I don't mind running it out now because I'd rather them not kill the Brain Maggot here. So I feel like they're going to play Colossal Might or Majesty. Colossal Majesty, because you definitely want to do that. And they're not going to attack because they're not wanting to lose that. So we could, this is 5 mana. That will deny them a card that we can swing in for 4. I think we're going to do that. They are stuck on mana. So I am okay with this. Although that is not a great creature to use. Dropping them down or keeping them mana screwed is probably a good idea. All right, so I'll take the 4 here. So if you decline, your opponent draws 4 cards. I will take action. I know that you are low on manas, Mr. Opponent. And that's game. Mana screwed opponents don't do very well, and that's a little bit sad. I think we also played that a little bit safer, using removal early. And I feel like that attack when they attacked in with both, when I had the Scourge Diva up, that was a little bit silly. But what are you going to do? Hometown is our opponent. Bring it back to the hometown. Alrighty, our opponent is on the play. We're in the draw. We have early stuff in our hands, some little bit of mess up their hand, way to draw some cards. So depending upon what we draw, will determine what we play first. I'm okay running out the Dragon Master now. Might keep the Brain Maggot around. So I feel like our turn 2 is going to be a Stormfist Crusader, because we want to make sure that we hit our 3rd land drop just to keep things going to get to the Hellkite. So, and that's a better reason to do that too. All right, so we did hit our 2nd land. So let's go ahead and Stormfist Crusader. Keep the card draw going. Hopefully our opponent doesn't benefit too much from that. I don't want to lose my creature, and you may have some sort of combat trick that I'm not into. So, I ain't buying yo oopsie, Mr. Man. So next turn, so I think we just swing in with, I think we can Brain Maggot here. I think that's not a bad idea. So we'll get in for our 2. Can Brain Maggot, and then next turn, maybe if we feel like we need to kill something with Perforos's intervention, we can still do so. So they have something that's instant or flashy, so let's see what they got. We're going to look at their hand. Wow. Oh, yikes. All right, well, I think we take the Questy Beastie Boy. The fact that it's so hasty. I mean, we have 2 bits of removal in our hand, so I'm not super upset by that. But they're gonna drop probably the Goreclaw. Oh, I guess Nylea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I think we try to kill the the hammer or this guy, because we need to keep them off of so if we kill the Goreclaw, that's only 1. If we kill this guy, that's 2. But we can, I think we'll just kill Goreclaw now to stem our losses. So let's go X of 2. because they can't Giant Growth right now, right? They have no mana available. So we will do this X of 2. And that way we can swing in with everything. Well, we probably shouldn't swing in with that, because we are losing. So depending upon if they play a big beefy boy next or this turn, which they very well could, or they just Giant Growth in for damage. Destroy target enchantment. That's pretty good. At least that's back to they can cast it now. Okay, so that's not good. So Nylea is coming in. It's not Trampoly, so we can pass. Oh man, this is not going well. Yeah, totally Questing Beast. We might just die here because they have, that's 9 unblockable here. I think we're just dead because that's 9, 10, 11. Not dead, but close to dead. They didn't even Giant Growth. I guess they don't have to. Okay. Ouch. So we are definitely going to kill our Stormfist Crusader. I think we're just dead here, though. If we could last one more turn, we could, and drew a land, we could Taste of Death. But I don't think that's going to happen. We can't block that. We can drop this guy, but then we can't play anything else. So I think we're just dead here. This is not an instance. That doesn't matter. So we will cycle this. It limits our ability to do the embodiment, but that doesn't help us either, so. Because there's no combination of things. So we're just going to do this because that's a good game. And I don't think that it matters here. But, because they're just going to Giant Growth whatever we don't do, and that's that. So we'll let them taste the victory, because generally it feels good to just pound and see how hard you hit, you know. So yeah, the fact that anything is going to get pumped, we just go ahead and block that, and we still die. Okay. They definitely, we definitely didn't get our engine going. It would have been great if we could have tasted death, or they could have tasted death, but things happen. Guy in the Scald, G in the Scald. I don't know what that means. Opponent goes first. I'd like this hand, though. We have some repeatable threats. We have something that they're probably going to want to remove. We have Rankle to take care of stuff as well, and we have Bacon with Pie. So I think we're going to keep this. We're going to lead with the Baron Moore. And we got our green, too. Or it's green. Blue mana. I totally knew that was that color. All right, so we don't care about casting the dragon. So we'll put this out and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't think we even need this guy because we have 2 blue right now. The only thing that will be upsetting is if we don't draw another red source for a while, but I think, what is our opponent doing right now? Are they doing a flame sweep thing? So we're going to pass back. If they're going to flame sweep, we're going to flame sweep. That's fine. So I think let's go with the War Boss here. And then next turn we can lead with the damn, they just ramped, didn't they? They're at 6 mana right now. Oh, that's pretty good. That's also pretty good. Trash Master isn't in the deck anymore. It looks like it would have been a good matchup for that. So I feel like maybe Judith and then Enforcer. Because we got Sweeping from the... Or we have Haste from Rankle. Master of Spanks. Wait a minute, what's this say? Oh, non-creature, non-land. Well, they're going to take a... They're going to get our pie. Which is a little bit upsetting. But hey, they don't have anything to destroy. They don't have anything to destroy. I think they'd probably take that over the Bake Into a Pie, so... Or sorry, Bake Into a Pie over the Flame Sweep, because the Flame Sweep will kill everything on our side of the board right now anyway, so... I'm pretty sure it's an easy Bake Into a Pie. So hopefully they just don't have any more... They don't have any threats to put stuff on. We have a pretty good amount of damage on board. Exiling our graveyard doesn't hurt too much. It's only Embodiment of Agonies that will lose out for a 2 count there. So let's hope that nothing else bad happens like that. Oh my god, that's so much lifelink. That is gross. So this is not except for you control with flying. So theoretically we could kill that. Let's see if we got some removal coming next. That's going to be a crappy card later. Unless we Flame Sweep away, we get 2/3. So then it's Death Toucher. So I guess we can leave that on top for right now. They're not going to block. They're not going to let that get Flame Sweeped away. We just know it. So I think we kind of have to leave it on top. I think we have to Rankle. Yeah, so I think we're at a major disadvantage here. We lose our graveyard, which hurts the Embodiment of Agonies, but we can always Flame Sweep to get that fed. They are gonna... They can shoot anything right now. So hopefully it's gonna be fine. Yeah, so they're not gonna shoot us for 2. They're just gonna equip and gain a whole bunch of life. Oh, I guess we could have actually attacked him with Rankle. I kind of forgot that Judith would make it more powerful. That was a little bit of an oopsie moment. But if they do attack, they can't really attack. They can attack. Why are they attacking? They may play another creature out. They can still shoot things. That's the problem. So if they shoot other things, we can only hit them for... So we're not going to block. We're going to let them gain a bunch of life. So hopefully we'll be okay. So, oh, they're just going to get another Skargan Hellkite. So that's not very good for us. So that we can't really Flame Sweep that away. If we attack in, we can't kill any of them. So... Well, I guess we'll have to Flame Sweep things. So we're basically screwed. So I think we just attack in with everything. And depending upon what lives through, we can try to Flame Sweep things away. We might even want to just play this out. If you don't block with anything... All right, so we're playing the really big, long game here. So if we Flame Sweep, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. This could do 4 damage, 5, 6 damage. So we can actually kill everything here, I think, if we ping this one. Because then we flame sweep. And then we get 3 triggers. 1, 2, 3. And we are left with a creature on board. And then we have a 5/5 flying death touch next turn. Unless they have a really good follow-up. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Tap all non-land permanents. They don't untap. It's swing in. Gain control of target permanent. Untap it. Oh my god. All right, so we don't have anything to really do here. So next turn they're going to tap everything. We can't give them either of these things. So return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Oh my gosh. All right, so I think we kind of have to bounce that Kraken because we're basically dead if we don't, because they're going to gain a whole bunch of life too. So let's go ahead and, oh, it's got hexproof. Crap. That was a mistake. Non-land permanent. So if we return that, they're just going to get another Kraken. So I think we kind of have to do this to try to bait them out. Like, getting the... We're just basically toasted. Like, we're totally toasted here. They're going to attack the Ashiok, or they're just going to smash face and then get the Ashiok next turn. Or they just make me sack it and then swing in for 8 and we're dead. Because then the next turn they get something. Yeah, man, I really wish I knew that when I cast that it had Prex. I even set it at Hexproof too. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. At least I didn't hit it and then have it ruin everything. All right, so next turn we're just dead because they gain control of target permanent and they untap. So I think that's just game. So I can't do anything about it because everything's tapped anyways. They'll just take everything. So see why now they're just being jerks. Yep. At least it doesn't get haste, but we're just dead to the Kraken. If only we could have had one other threat, that wouldn't have been game. So that's kind of what this is supposed to be, though. These big, huge matches that just kind of like, well, it was kind of just one-sided. It wasn't like haymaker after haymaker, but it was still pretty fun. All right, well, that didn't go as planned. We went 3-3 for the overall record. I think that there were definitely a couple misplays, but otherwise, I personally don't know if I could have built any differently to make that a little bit of a better situation. I will say that we did, after game 1, which I don't know if I'll put in here because, well, you'll find out. It found that the deck didn't really function all well. We tried to go a little bit more mid-range, which I think you kind of had to do. We took out the couple goblins that we had in the 1-drops, and then we also took out the Trashmaster. Retrospectively, probably shouldn't have played the Outcast. It would have maybe been better as Dire Fleet Daredevil to try to sweep up a little bit of removal. Or maybe like Gary could have even helped, or possibly even, I don't know, an Atris. Maybe it would have been better to do that. Or Archeraska. There's definitely things that could have, retrospectively done that. Maybe even a Mastermind's acquisition to go get some removal, something like that. But overall, it was a lot of fun. Definitely going to do more of these. So I definitely consider this to be a success. Made back half the goal. It's not too terrible. And it was a lot of fun. So I think if you haven't done this, definitely try it out. Probably going to do more of these videos. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. And I will talk to you soon. Cheers.